evil men on paternity court.
You know my name, you know my birthday, you know everything. There's internet. I look for you. I searched for you.
If you were a man and responsible, you would have signed the birth certificate.
I didn't want the children in the first place. She was the one that wanted marriage and babies. She stopped taking the pill and got pregnant.
2 men and a woman found themselves entangled in a 3-decade-old mystery. Mr. Tillman and Mr. Johnson are both vying for the title of dad, all thanks to their shared connection with the baby mama. Now the million-dollar question was, who was the biological father amongst them? Well, we're gonna get to the bottom of that.
Was it committed?
It started out more like friendship, more so than a committed relationship. But as time grew on and I discovered that she was dealing with other people than myself, so that's when I kind of strayed away.
So you discovered she was also in a relationship with Mr. Johnson.
I didn't necessarily know that they were in a relationship, but I knew that she was dealing with somebody else other than myself.
We have a love triangle on our hands here, people. Nothing new. However, this love triangle was more tangled than a plate of spaghetti. Oh yeah, the baby mama was playing them both, and quite cheekily, may I add. And these guys didn't like being played like a fiddle. More so the joyous news of the baby.
She showed up at my door, she was pregnant, you know. I still joking way asked her, what happened to her, and so she told me she was pregnant, it was mine.
She told me she was pregnant, and I asked her, was it from that guy? And she said, yeah, I believe so.
Time to make this plot thick, as the defendant and plaintiff were now swapping stories of their encounters with a baby mama. And during such an encounter, it was revealed the mommy had a fun time with both these guys on the same day. Wow, that's one way to mess up the timelines for sure.
You had sex with her that morning, around about 12 o'clock. With Cece. And
that's Miss Tillman, mother.
Yes, that's her mother. She told me she had sex with you that around about 12 o'clock. And I had stopped by there around about 3 something, and me and her had sex.
I don't remember.
Well, those fun times produce a very real baby. Although both contenders were up for the role of fatherhood initially, it seemed Mr. Tillman pulled a no-show after some time. So not cool. However, in his defense, he claimed he did come to visit his daughter, but the defendant wasn't buying that one bit.
Who was in her life after that? Did you have a relationship with her?
For as I knew, he was gone.
Did you have a relationship? Did you see the baby?
Yes, I did, Your Honor. I used to come and get my daughter and take her with me on the weekends, and anything she needed, I did.
Where did you come and get her from?
Y'all just took my daughter.
Where did you come and get her from?
Well, looky here. It appeared not only Mr. Johnson didn't believe a word of the plaintiff, but so did Miss Annetta. Uh-oh! Guess Mr. Tillman had been caught in a lie. But he was still adamant that he did visit, and these guys were the ones who disappeared on him. Moving on, we got to see what the daughter thought of the one who raised her.
Only person I've ever had come pick me up and take me out on the weekends was Mr. Johnson. Mr. Johnson has always been there for me. So I'm really confused. I don't know. And
baby, after your mother and him sent you to Georgia, I lost contact with you.
But you know my name. You know my
I came back
birthday?
several times trying to find you.
It was certainly not a good day for the dear old plaintiff. The man was being caught in bold lies one after another. He had other plans on the day of the birth, and still he had the gall to maintain his innocence. Then Miss Annetta's birth certificate came up, with a blank space for the father's name, unsurprisingly. And boy, was that a stark reminder of the mystery surrounding her paternity.
How did I get my name?
I signed for you at the hospital after you were born.
This is my birth
I have the
certificate.
original birth certificate.
And it doesn't have.
Let me see that, Jerome. Hand me that.
Why you left?
Cece got mad at me because she found out I was going to New York to get married, and that's why I think you and her sent my daughter away out of my life. It's not my fault.
What do you mean it's not
It's
your
not
fault?
my
And so the daughter finally blew up on the supposed baby daddy. Mr. Tillman was in for it now. She poured her heart out, and he still tooled the same tune that they disappeared. Well, drama level? Up to 100.
No, the reason I wasn't in your life, baby, because they sent you away.
I don't care about what they did.
Well,
you are a grown man. You have your own. You should have did it. You shouldn't have stopped. You knew I was out there. Did you not know I was out there?
Yes, I knew you was out there, and I tried my best to find you.
Girlfriend to the rescue. Yup, Mr. Tillman still had at least one person in his corner. His girlfriend came up to the podium to stand with him in support. Oh, she did a lot more than just that. She also shared his side of the story. Could this get any more complicated, man?
He brings out her birth certificate, said I ain't seen her in all these years. This man's almost come to tears because he hasn't seen her in over 30 years. They've taken her from him.
What I'm saying, what I don't get, you saying that you didn't know where she was.
I didn't.
But yet you said that you came.
This decades-old paternity mystery had gone on long enough. The results were in, and were about to be revealed. Let's see if the daughter gets what she was hoping for, or if fate has other plans.
Mr. Tillman, you are her father.
I knew it. I knew it. I knew it.
It's all right.
Little baby, I'm sorry, but it was not my fault. No matter how much you're trying to blame me, they took you away from me.
A paternity mystery that has been simmering for 34 years. Yup. Miss Krieger claimed Mr. Dittmer's denial of parenthood was about as believable as the Loch Ness Monster. He, on the other hand, insisted he got hoodwinked into paying child support, and now he wanted payback.
Her best friend's folks told me she was messing around with this guy about the time that Jamie was conceived. So yes, she was messing around.
That's a lie.
No, it's not.
Now, this is unfortunate, Miss Krieger, Jamie, that you have to hear any of this.
From what I hear, my mom's admitted it was, but it was the sister before me.
Ladies and gentlemen, grab your popcorn, because we're in for a wild ride. The baby mama immediately went into picture evidence, but Mr. Lee wasn't falling for that. Furthermore, he accused the baby mama, albeit a bit boldly, that she had been tricking him all his life. Uh-oh, trouble? Nope, much more like disaster in paradise.
Everybody, when there's babies born, compare and say how much they look like me on my dad's side of the family also. How could they look like me if I have a different dad and that's from my dad's side of the family?
The older two children have blue eyes and blonde hair. Jamie's always had darker hair with a hazel or brown.
And you never claimed them or paid child support on them. Why?
Oh, the doubts and reservations hovering over Miss Krieger's pregnancy. These guys shared 2 more children, and yet Mr. Dittmer, our doubtful dad, was feeling as betrayed as Jon Snow in Game of Thrones.
She's the one that looks different than the older children. The older children have blonde hair, blue eyes. Jamie has dark hair, hazel or brown eyes. The older children are more athletic. Well, why would she trick me into paying child support like that, Your Honor? I mean, I wasn't even at the hospital when Jamie was born.
Moving on, we got to know the side of the daughter as to when she got to know about this all. And before the poor girl could finish, there went Mr. Lee interjecting again. He claimed Miss Lee switched her relationship status from committed to it's complicated with a side of other people. So much so as accusing the baby mama of going off the pill, with a dash of born-again virgin criticism. Yikes!
He kept saying that I would kidnap the kids, that she'd never see them again. It took me 2 years to get visitation, then they gave me supervised visitation.
It was your drinking, like you said earlier. I wasn't gonna let my little children go with you drunk and have you driving with them drunk.
If you didn't think Miss Krieger was your biological child, why the visits?
Let the he said, she said battle commence. Both these guys were accusing each other of infidelity and whatnot, and some of it was true though. Still, the baby daddy maintained he paid child support, and it wasn't about the money.
I've got the final payment right here. I'd like to present it to the court. I ended up talking to the attorney for the friend of the court, and I settled with him. They said I owed $13,000 at that time, and he said only $3,000 was owed in child support, that the rest of it was administrative fees, interest, and surcharges.
Yes.
Up next, we got to see the daughter accepting some of the things the supposed baby daddy did for her. However, the fella did pull some evil moves on her and her children, and those involved telling people he wasn't her father and their grandpa. Seriously, man?
He's helped me some, but he's also griped the whole way through. He told my daughter's dad that I wasn't his, and I had to hear about it, which is pretty...
No, I never told her.
What happened?
I told my middle child's dad, you guys were drinking, yes, but still.
About time the daughter poured out everything that had been bottled up inside her all these years, and she most definitely did. She shared how her life had been with the defendant behaving like that, And man, did that make the baby daddy a heartless jerk.
Well, I don't even know if I'm yours, but I just gave you $20 to help you buy some diapers. And so it got to the point where, why ask him for help? I mean, he's just got it in the back of his mind. I'm not his kid. It makes me feel worthless, and like, it's a lot of emotional abuse, and that's what sticks with you, and that's what stays.
The moment of truth, folks. It was here. And when I say we were ready for it, you better believe me, because this indeed was a wild ride stuffed with emotions. Miss Jamie was here for some much-needed answers, and Judge Lake had them for her. Here we go.
You are her father.
I never had any doubts. It's just been dealing with all this.
And Mr. Dittmer?
I feel kind of relieved, Your Honor. I'm glad that she is, but her mother put such a doubt in my mind.
Mr. Alexander was suing to remove his name from his alleged 4-month-old daughter's birth certificate, claiming there was no way he was the dad. On the flip side, Miss Stewart also sued the baby daddy for childcare expenses and swore Mr. Alexander was the biological father. It's gonna be a long battle, and neither seems to want to back down.
You are suing your ex-girlfriend for $40 for the cost of the administration fee to legally remove your name from her 4-month-old daughter, Jariah's birth certificate, because there is absolutely no way you are her biological father.
Yes, Your Honor.
Let's rewind the tape to when these two lovebirds were on the rocks. After spotting some shady texts and calls from a mysterious Dexter on the baby mama's phone, the man's suspicions went through the roof, and that was just the start. But instead of confronting her, he let his doubts simmer. Then came a drunken bowling night when Miss Stewart left him with the kids and vanished till the wee hours. Now, that doesn't sound so good.
I seen text messages and several phone calls from this guy named Dexter. She wouldn't answer the phone when I was in the room. I guess she would wait until maybe I left or whatever, so that's kind of a suspicion for me.
But you never questioned her about it?
Yeah, I asked her about it, and she told me, like, don't worry about it, like, basically, like, it's none of my business.
Time to dive headfirst into the pregnancy drama. Miss Stewart ended up dropping the pregnancy bomb on the defendant, but the timing was sketchy. These guys had been on a break for 3 months, and there had been no hanky-panky. But that's not what Miss Stewart believed, and she took matters into her own hands then.
I didn't tell him because we were rocky at that time. It wasn't a solid foundation, so I didn't want to make it even worse by bringing the baby into the situation.
I did have doubt because when she told me she was pregnant, we were actually on a 3-month break, and we got back together like 2 months after that, and then that's when she told me she was pregnant.
Miss Stewart not only played detective, she also brought the evidence along with her to the court. Now that's what I'm talking about. However, that evidence didn't paint the baby daddy in good colors. Oh, he was up to no good at all.
The first one at the bottom, the 7:08 p.m., that is when he was gone. He told me that he was at his aunt's house, and obviously you can see there he's talking to a girl right there.
So at 7:08 p.m., his phone got a text from a number that's not yours that says, I'm looking forward to tonight.
Yes.
Now, where does this mysterious Dexter come into this mix? The defendant wanted Mr. Alexander to feel exactly the way she did, and she concocted a plan with the help of her best friend. Enter Dexter.
I came up with a plan with my best friend. I changed her name in my phone to Dexter, and I was texting her pretending I was talking to a dude just so that he would think I was cheating because he cheated.
I've seen the text message about can I come see you? How you doing?
Yeah,
like that's her man when I'm supposed to be her man.
Mr. Alexander's sister came up next as his witness, and though she claimed to have been friends with the defendant for a long time, she sided with her brother on this one. She spilled the beans about secret breakup plans and hanging out with other guys, a tit-for-tat game that had been tearing this relationship apart.
Miss Stewart and I have been friends for over 15 years. We've always talked and told each other secrets about, having backup plans as far as if you have a boyfriend, keeping one on the side for when your boyfriend makes you mad, you can, just go talk to other guys or whatever. So as far as this guy goes, it's not a hoax. They actually hang out all the time.
No, that's false.
Next up, the baby mama shared how the plaintiff had taken no part in the pregnancy journey. She had been doing it all on her own with no help from him. So much so, the baby daddy ended up calling the beautiful baby something. Uh-oh, that's not gonna fly in this court, man.
Out of all of my doctor's appointments, he's only came to the finding out the gender, and then the last 2, I've gone to all of them by myself.
And this hurts you so much because you thought he would be there?
Yeah, and she doesn't deserve that. Look at her. She's so cute. Like, why would you deny her? It just doesn't make sense to me.
Moving on, Miss Stewart presented some more evidence of the baby daddy's bad attitude and plain spiteful behavior towards the child. And the guy showed no remorse at all over this. Check out the nerve of this baby daddy.
First you say, I need a favor. You're gonna be busy Sunday or Monday. And then he says, I don't know, it depends. And then you say, okay, well, I need you to watch the kids while I get my hair done. He says, I'll watch Jacoby, but Jariah, hell nah, find her daddy.
Time to take the baby mama and the baby out of their misery. They wanted the paternity doubt to be resolved once and for all. Will the results be able to shut the baby up or not? We'll see about that.
Mr. Alexander, you are her father.
I'm just happy at the end that the results came back like I said that they would.